Hi, it's mailbag time again, and I don't have as much as usual today. I'm just going to take a moment to update on a couple of projects that are running a bit behind schedule. So the first is the repair on the Anritsu spectrum analyzer. So that's waiting for the completion of the current probes that I'm making. Now, if worse comes to worse, then I'll move away from using the current probes on there because I just wanted to demo them in that situation. And I'll use some resistors or something like that to as makeshift probes. The current probes themselves, the circuit boards have been made, the pick and place has been done, they are on the way back. The case for them has gone through 4 iterations so far and is about to have its 5th iteration of prototyping. So yeah, the mechanical side has proven a lot more tricky than I thought with that. But anyway, you know, there we go with those. The other thing is the logic processor, which I introduced back in December, and I did say at the time it would be slow. The only issue with that really has been that although I have done quite a lot of work on it, it's actually trying to get it to a point where I can put together a meaningful video. Now, I've just finished shooting most of the first of the videos, which is all about the clock circuits and the reset circuit and stuff like that. And I've just about done the PCB design on that, but the same PCB is going to have the power supply on it. So okay, let's get to the mailbag. So we've got a thing from DigiKey. Let's get that opened first, I think. It's probably got the least interesting stuff in it, so we'll get it out of the way. Oh, well, actually, I say that. That might not be the case. It may not be the least interesting. So, oh yeah, okay, so there's an 8.25 and 8.45 ohm resistors, which if you put them in series make 16.7. The reason is I wanted 16.7 ohms and I couldn't get them. Why did I want 16.7 ohms? Because that is the size you need in order to do a 3 dB divider, well, 6 dB loss divider for RF, purely resistive divider. And I just want to make a few of those, so there they go. These are probes. So these are meter probes. Now, I've got a long bag. These are meter probes in a 1 meter bag. It's probably not quite a meter, but it's certainly 3 feet long, that bag. Absolutely ridiculous. So these are 2 lots of probes. Let me switch camera so we can see them easier. There we go, and these are from Pomona. Now, I ordered these from DigiKey with the rest of the order, and the reason I bought them is because in my review of low-cost multimeters, in a couple of the tests, I used some probes from Keithley. It's nice quality, high-quality probes, and unfortunately, I put something down on the tip of one and snapped it off. So my usual day-to-day probes, which are nice and sharp and good quality, yeah, they are no longer usable. Now, funnily enough, I will actually do a repair on those, and I'll regrind a point on it, and I will replate them and things like that. But it will make them a little bit stubby. So I wanted some fresh probes. I've gone for 2 different types. So a quick look at these then. So these are from Pomona, and they're the kind of best ones I could find on DigiKey. Really, there was a couple of others. Now I could go to someone like RS and buy some Keysight or something like that, but don't have that sort of money really. Okay, so here they go. So here's the first pair. So these are more general purpose probes, the sort of physical size that you would get normally. And I was just commenting actually on to someone about the caps on the probes that you normally get. You put a plug-on cap, and how I constantly lose them. These don't do that. These have a little turny bit. Let me zoom in a bit more. So here you go. So this is a normal size probe, and this is a Cat 3 1000 volt, Cat 4 600 volts, and you can see that in the window there. And then if I turn this, the probe tip retracts and it becomes a Cat 2 1000 volt probe, because it hasn't got the insulation on here, of course. And this has a screw thread on for fitting accessories and things like that. So it becomes a fairly normal probe at that point. Quite nice. Ooh, jeepers, that is sharp. Really, really sharp. So really nice. This is a really flexible silicone coating, and quite a nice shrouded plug as well. So let's try that in my, yeah, nice fit, excellent. The only thing that I would perhaps have liked is a straight plug instead of a right angle plug. A couple of millimeters it's better for, but yeah, I really like those, very nice. So these are 6341 from Pomona, and this is a little set. Now these are small probes, so they're nothing like the size of the original. The cables are very thin, and these are still 1000-volt Cat 2 probes. Nice little rubber covers. And the reason I've got rubber covers is because they are insanely sharp. Now I'll just put one of these next to one of the normal ones for comparison there, so you can see the length difference. About 2 inches shorter than a standard probe. So these are really good for getting into very small places on the circuits, definitely for microelectronics. So the other thing with this is, of course, that they come with a set of tips, are removable, and they're stainless steel tips. I'll put one side for a second. And this particular lot that I bought comes with a set of tips. So these are really sharp. Pick it up like that. So this is a long needle tip. So we can kind of see that now. And you know, that's very similar to some of the tips that I get on other ones. Here's an adapter from a normal probe. This is actually from the broken Keithley probe, I think. Might be from a Fluke, but anyway. And these are always rated lower. This particular one here is a 300-volt Cat 2, and this is actually a 60-volt Cat 2, and that's because it's uninsulated. I'm going to put some insulation on, probably clear insulation, heat shrink, from about 5 millimeters back from the tip along its length, and I will also make a little printed plastic thing that can go over the end here so that it has proper shrouding, because yeah, it's a bit long. The other tips, ouch, there are pogo pins, so these are spring loaded, and there's kind of like a large one with 3 points, a small one with 1 point, and a small one with 3 points as well. So you can, of course, just buy these probes on their own without the additional pin set. And if you're buying a couple of pairs, you could buy one pair without the additional pins, one pair with the additional pins, and you've got everything you need there. These look like they're about 900mm leads, so about 3 feet, and that's long enough for what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with those. Those are quite nice little probes for doing the small, more delicate stuff. All right, let's have a look at this thing. I'm not 100% sure what this is. Okay, I think I know what these are. Yeah, I think someone sent me these, and this is a pair of desoldering tweezers, and I think they're about as cheap as you can get. This tip here is actually physically bent, which probably isn't a surprise, given that they just delivered it in a jiffy bag, and that was all. This one's all right, but yeah, they're pretty awful. These are obviously for taking off surface mount components, and yeah, you're going to struggle like hell with these. But what I might do, I think, is I might see if I can remove some of that lateral movement, tighten this nut up and things like that, and see if I can fabricate a couple of wire strippers, thermal wire stripper tips for there. I don't even know if I've got a control unit that these will plug into. Yeah, so either I will do a very quick teardown, or I will attempt to turn these into a pair of thermal wire strippers. One or the other. I didn't pay postage for these. And the reason I didn't pay postage is because I was supposed to be sharing postage with some PCBs I'd ordered. So here are 1,000 white LEDs. And so these are some MOSFETs. Just tiny size surface mount jobbies, 2N7002, 60 volt, 350 milliamp, 1.6 ohm on. And so what are these for? Well, these are for some light rings that I am making. So I'm continuing to plow ahead with my pick and place machine, and what I need now are 2 light rings for the cameras, upwards facing and downwards facing camera. So I have done the design, and they are adjustable brightness, of course, but they are linear circuits, not digital circuits, and so they're basically current control circuits, analog, and yeah. So I'm just waiting for the PCBs to arrive, and then we'll be able to have a look at them. Of course, I kind of ordered 50 PCBs, which is why I've got a lot of the LEDs, because there are 12 LEDs per PCB, times 50 is 600. But there was a convenient price break at 1,000, so there we go. Okay, so those are a bit unexpected, a lot earlier than I was anticipating. Take a quick look at this. Okay, batteries included. You know, these used to work really well. Oh, okay, right. Oh. So first, most important thing, just a pair of Sharpies. There's just an offer on these at the moment, so I bought a couple. Because these are double-ended ones. I quite like those. I can use them very general purpose. So put those somewhere where they won't get lost. That would be good. And this is a white box. And I do remember what this contains now. Instruction manual written in Chinese. 2 big leads. Some... the hell is that? Oh yeah, sandpaper. A file. I didn't expect that. Quite nice actually. Might use that for a few things. Some nickel strips. Have you guessed what it is yet? Charging point and a little carrying pouch. I've got like a million carrying pouches. I just don't know what to do with them. Anyway, I won't be using the box again, that is for sure. Let's have a look at this. So yeah, this is a spot welder. So most people use these primarily for doing things like batteries. I do actually have a couple of other uses for it. So let's get the positive and the negative plugged in. Because of course inside here there's a 10 amp hour battery, big lithium LiPo battery. So, unlike a lot of them, this particular one just has the 2 probes. You place them down and it senses that they've been touched down. And yeah, so the battery's down to 22%, so that's pretty poor. There's a good chance it won't work properly at 23%, but yeah, we'll give it a go, why not? So I'm not going to do too much here. Got a good long length of nickel strip with this. Okay, this isn't a battery that you would normally attach one of these to, it has to be said. But we'll give it a go, why not? I'll try and get my fingers out of the way. So one down. Yeah, it didn't like doing that at all. That certainly took a bit of effort out of the battery, but so if you are using one of these, you should try and keep the battery charged. But it did eventually pull off, but it was quite an effort to do anything. Menu. Yeah, that wasn't on full power even. So this is of course really why we have these files and things, to try and clean off the surfaces a bit. So I'm impressed that all these pieces are in here. This is virtually run out, this entire... I'll try and keep this away. Yeah, this battery is basically run out, but look at that. Excellent. So I better get this on charge before it does fully run out. Power off, I guess. And what charges does it take? Type C. So I just want to say this is not how, I think that this should be a piece of electronic test equipment. And this is not how you pack one, just wrapping it up in a bit of bubble, putting it in black plastic, sticking tape around it and giving it to Hermes. Now, this is only my opinion, but giving it to Hermes in the first place is a sad, sad mistake, because part of the reason this is in such a mess is that the very first thing that Hermes did with it is lose it and then send me a thing to say they've done that. They sent it to the wrong depot in the country, and then instead of just correcting that mistake and quickly rerouting it, they sent it all the way back to the sender's depot and just restarted the whole journey again. And they take about 3 days to sort the thing in the first place. So yeah, this is rather overdue. Let's see if I can get in it. The only way I can get into this is to use a knife, that is for certain. Okay, I think generally it has survived. So this is a piece of Tektronix equipment, and I don't know if you can work out what it actually is from that view. Let's take a different view, and so there we go. So this is a Tektronix digital photometer. Doesn't have any batteries in, no power, and I don't know what the adapter is at the moment on this side, but essentially there's a window there, and yeah, we get to read the amount of light from here. And other than that, I don't really know a lot about it, but I just kind of saw it there. I was the only person who bid on it, and I kind of thought, well, that'll be interesting just to have a little tear down and a little look inside that. So I've just got these 4 screws on the back, so I'm kind of hoping that that will give me access to the battery maybe, and I'm kind of expecting NiCads or something like that in here, or nothing at all, in fact, maybe. So I don't know if this unclips. Yes, it does unclip. There we go. So that's clearly our sensor, and clearly we can just connect a 15-way connector and use this as a handheld probe, which is very neat. And this actually even has a tripod mount in the end of it as well. So yeah, clearly designed to actually separate. I was just a bit afraid when I was taking it off, that was all. So this back still doesn't want to come off. Let's try the front screws then. Maybe it has to slide out, who knows. It's always interesting to take things apart when you've never seen them before, with no instructions. I mean, I don't even know if I can get an instruction manual for this, probably, maybe, who knows. I'm kind of hesitant to take these 2 screws on the back here off, but maybe they're the ones I should have taken off all along. Yeah, warning NiCad batteries, so that answers that. Ah, there we go. Yep. Okay, so the whole section lifts out, and then there's a little plug down at the bottom there, and then we can see all the electronics inside, which come out this way. Excellent. Or don't come out this way, because I need to take out the... So I think I'm going to call it a day there. It seems worthwhile actually dealing with this in its own little video. I'm hoping that it will be pretty functional. I can get replacement batteries, that's not a huge problem. They're a bit pricey, I might not bother. And I have been able to find out that the mains adapter is a constant current 200 milliamps at 9 volts, and that's because it charges the batteries directly. In fact, they do make a mains conversion unit for this, but I haven't got it, of course, although I do have the circuit diagram. So yeah, I think a separate little video is in order for this, and for reference, that removable probe on the top, you get lots and lots of different probes for different purposes for this. I've only got the one probe, of course. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see the teardown of this, catch up on the next one. Of course, you know, click the like button, please click the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye for now.